Aiden Booth here, welcome to the next video in my series here, where today I'm at the next stop on the way to Lake Como in Italy. In fact, the Italian border is just a couple of minutes that way. I'm in Menton, France, and if you missed the last video and don't have the book yet, you can go ahead and download that on the next page. And in that book, you'll discover the three-step system that we've used to build an income of up to $10,914 per day. First though, let me share what today's video is all about. What I want to share today are some amazing stories of beta students, some of which had no experience whatsoever, who have achieved truly amazing results with this method. Dom has raced away to earning hundreds per day in a very short space of time. Noel from Ireland, who had no experience whatsoever, has earned thousands from this simple system already. Kerry, our favourite grandmother from up in Massachusetts, has gone from no income to hundreds of dollars per day with this. Vaughan in Australia went from zero to having made thousands in a matter of a few weeks and is quickly scaling his business. Chris has already done over $1,000 in a single week and continues to ramp things up. Gustavo in Mexico is absolutely crushing it. Jack in New Zealand has made hundreds of dollars per day using this. What's really incredible is the speed at which these people, our students, have been able to see results. And there are several reasons for this. One of them is that the websites are just so simple, and another is that you can turn the traffic on literally at the push of a button. Now, you're going to get all the details in the document that you can download today, as well as the free book with the expanded information about this. And just for good measure, we're going to put you in the draw to win $5,000 as well. And you'll also be able to access the page where you can follow along on this amazing road trip that I'm doing and get more insights, see how much money we're making, special footage of this amazing car that I'm driving in, and so much more. So move fast and secure access to this right now. Hey, Aiden Booth here. Thank you for sharing your details with us. You can see behind me is the beautiful city of Monaco, where we're kicking off this amazing road trip as I'm heading up to Lago di Como, Lake Como in Italy. Now, thank you for sharing your details. It's really, really important that you sign up right now for one of our Profit Labs. We're going to be running these live. There is going to be no replays whatsoever. So absolutely vital that you register for one of these and that you attend. Now, after you've done that, you're also going to be able to get access to the road trip page, where you're going to be able to see more information about what we're doing here. You're going to get more insights, more looks behind the scenes, for example, to see how much money we're making day by day using this system, and some amazing footage of the Ferrari that I'm cruising in as we work our way up to Lake Como in Italy. By tuning in to one of these live Profit Labs, you're also going to be able to see if you are the lucky winner of $5,000 in cash. Now, these will be full to the brim, so I want to make sure that you tune in early. Try to get there 20 minutes early if you can, and do not miss this. This is the only chance that you're going to get to see the full system from start to finish and learn how you can get started making money with this amazing system as quickly as possible. So I look forward to seeing you on the call. Get on there early and you'll get all the good information that you need to get. I'll see you there.
Hi everyone, my name is Aiden Booth. I'm the founder of 123Profit, and what I wanted to do in this video was to pull together some of our pilot program members, people who have had an early insight into 123Profit, so that you can hear about their experiences firsthand. Now, to give you some more context, we invited a small group of people to come through and test things out and allow us to test things out and see what would work when we started rolling this out to more people. And the results have absolutely blown us away. So much so that every single one of our pilot program members who have been working along with this has ended up with a website that has made them hundreds and hundreds of dollars in single days. And I'm not talking about $100, I'm talking about more like $400, $500 in a single day. So the financial results have been pretty amazing, quite honestly. but also the speed at which these people have been able to come into this and get these life-changing results. So you'll hear as we dive into some of the interviews here that for the most part, people have been able to get results the very same day that they turn the system on. And again, you're going to find out what that looks like and hear more about how all of this works once we dive into these interviews. Now, to make this more interesting and to try to give you insight into multiple voices, we have turned these individual interviews into a compilation, and that's what you're going to be able to see and listen to here today. And we've got more information around this video about what you need to do next if you want to get more information. I think you'll find the pilot program testers compilation of interviews really interesting, but for you to be able to sink your teeth into this, for you to be able to get moving and get your own results, then you need to take action, and you'll be able to find out exactly how you can do that, like I say, around this video. Right now though, let's dive in and have a listen to what some of the pilot program members have got to say. Anything about where you're at, what you've been able to see with your website so far?
Sure. It's actually really exciting because it's been a great run, and the growth is accelerating. So I'm already over $5,000 earned. And I was just looking at some of the stats here before we got on the phone, and best day, $481. This week is up more than 25% over just a week ago. And my month to month, because we've only been doing this about 60 days, 70 days, since the very beginning, and running ads for about 60. And I'm up more than 3 times month over month. So that's all super exciting. The other thing is I'm just running literally one keyword. This is all off of one keyword. And even in my niche, there's many, many more. And just in the nature of the beta program as we were running it, just running a single keyword. So I'm super excited to see it'll scale both. I can run more in the ad front, but it's also scales by just adding more keywords that just the same way I did the first one.
What's been some of your maybe like your best day so far, for example?
Sure, we've had because remember it's only been a short time, but we've had $500 days of revenue.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Would you say that you've been surprised by the progress you've made, or did you kind of expect that you'd be where you are now? Thoughts around that?
No, the progress has been quicker than I probably could have imagined, if I'm totally honest. I didn't know what to expect, but from my previous work with Amazon and stuff, that was a very slow build, and maybe you didn't see any results at all for quite some time. Whereas this, really after just a short space of time, or it seems like a short space of time of a number of weeks, you started to get results very quickly. And when I mean results, I mean revenue. And certainly, as you've said earlier, about 10 weeks now we've been working together, and even though you've had some holiday periods in there with Thanksgiving and stuff in the States, and we've had to pause things, those results have kept happening. Like, in the revenue is around just over $7,000 in that time, which is it is quite amazing in that short space of time that you can generate that, and we're only starting.
Where are you at so far? What's that sort of journey been like? Maybe you could share a little bit about your numbers to give people some context here, and then we can dive into some more of the details of the model.
Yeah, for sure. Look, it's only early days. It's only, like you said, it's only been a few months. So I feel like things are just really getting started, to be honest. Look, my largest day so far would be just over the $400 mark, which is really good. I think from start we're pretty close to around about $8,000 in revenue, so just short of $8,000 in sales, which is really exciting. That, like I said, it's only early days. So,
I think we've been going around about 10 weeks since your website kicked off, and the first few weeks was very much about just giving you some background information about the model. So we've probably had, I would say, traffic coming in around about 7 weeks, something like that. So to be at $7,000 in your first sort of 7 weeks of actually turning traffic in and having hit $400, is that 400 US dollars or 400 Australian dollars?
No, that's US, 400 US dollars. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Do you remember how long it took you to see your first conversion or to make your first money using this system? So when you started, from the moment you sort of turned on the traffic, let's say, how long from then did it take you to say, oh, I've got my first sale, or my first commission, I should say?
From it was almost instant. Like it didn't. Yeah, as soon as you turn the traffic on, it was that day from memory. It
Same day.
It didn't take. Yeah, it was quick. Yeah, it doesn't take long at all to do that.
So the biggest revenue day has been just over $500, so if in just a short amount of time, it's done fantastically, really.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think what we typically see is a gradual increase in the way that we run this. So, if you're hitting your largest revenue days of sort of $500 now, then I would expect in the next month or so that hopefully you'll be able to be up above 1,000 and not just increase the revenue, but increase the profitability as well, because a lot of what we end up doing leverages what we call the back end, which we're not paying for any traffic in that case at all. Do you think that you would sort of hit a limit with how much money you could make in one niche? Take, for example, we're not going to reveal your niche here, but I mean, do you think that you're going to quickly hit a ceiling on how much money you could make from that?
I don't think so, no. It depends on how much I think the more you put in, then the more you get out of it. So it's like you can kind of choose your cap pretty much. And that's the exciting thing about it. You can just kind of tailor it to how much your kind of threshold is. If you're a bit worried, then you can lower it or whatnot. But I think the ceiling is, well, it's kind of like an invisible ceiling.
How's that compare with different projects that you've worked on in the past? That speed that we're talking about, 48 hours.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's amazing. Like I've definitely had experiences where I've offered a product for sale and been able to sell it very quickly. But usually what happens is if you're doing that, you immediately get swarmed by competition because people are watching what you're doing and seeing, hey, if you're starting to move units, they're going to come at you with competitive pricing and some of those other things. But in this space, it's felt very, very different. Obviously there's lots of people advertising lots of things on Google and Microsoft, but it's so much bigger than I am. I never have to worry about any kind of competition on my words or anyone's going to suddenly find me and come after it. So the biggest difference is it's not just that it happens quickly, which is nice and I love it, but it's also that it has longevity. You find a good opportunity and you can then just continue to run it for as far as I can see, more or less indefinitely. I'm sure there are limits, but everything I found in e-commerce, at least for me, was I'd find a great opportunity, but the competition was so incredibly aggressive coming after me, where this is a much more defensible business opportunity, which I love.
Can you explain a little bit about the flow of why they would be interested in the first place?
Sure. Well, like with anything else, the goal is to place ads, very, very simple ads, and the audience is amazingly large, but place very simple ads, say on Google or Microsoft, and drive them to an offer that matches what they're actively searching for. So they already have that intent and that interest. And the kind of information, it depends on the niche and so on, but basically think of them as just adding to a subscriber list, to a subscription list, so you can send them follow-up emails, and then offer them exactly what they were looking for in terms of what they were searching for. And the affiliate business, this kind of model is so great because there's not really a fulfillment. Other than passing them along to an offer that's highly targeted to what they were searching for, The rest of the follow-up happens out of my hands. I don't have to do anything with that. So it's a really great way.
Why do you think you can turn the traffic on and very quickly get a conversion?
I think this is where it's probably different in from the e-com, but it's just so simple, right? You've got the foundations there set up, and you point the traffic, and people fill out the details, and that converts into a lead, which is just, yeah, it's just so simple.
Money in the bank.
You know, I guess the difference, yeah, it's money in the bank. People, which is the huge difference here. With this model, you know, people have to go through. In e-com, they've got to go through and want that product and check out and put their credit card details in there and all that kind of stuff. So all those kind of things are another step in the funnel. But with what we're doing here, it's just so much simpler. People just fill out a form and you get paid.
If I think about all the different business models that I'm in, and we're involved with software, developing software, selling information, e-commerce, obviously, traditional affiliate marketing. With any and all of those, there's always an element, almost like I need to convince my visitor to do something, and if I'm good enough at convincing them, then I make money. Whereas with this, it's so aligned, I think, with we're giving the traffic, the visitors, we're giving them the opportunity to get something that they already want. And I think that's why we see these such high conversion rates. It's just fundamentally different from a psychological standpoint.
Yeah, you're right. People are looking for what we're offering them, which is excellent. So they're already coming in as not so much as a cold lead, I guess. They're coming in as a very warm lead. So it's so much simpler to convert.
Being in Australia, what has your experience been in the past with running an online business? Has it sometimes, do you think, been more challenging being outside of the USA? And obviously you've got experience with e-commerce, we've spoken about that, other things as well. And then leading on from that, how has it been for you being in Australia and getting this going?
Yeah, look, it's different. It's, to be honest, you can be anywhere in the world in regards to doing this. It makes absolutely no difference. E-com, yes, it's probably a little bit more challenging being in Australia, doing the e-com, especially in the US, because you're just like, you know, being in Australia, you're on the other side of the world, so you've got to get in your head that when it's summer here, it's winter over in the US, and you know, people are buying different things, and you've just got to try and reverse everything that's happening locally. You're not kind of, I guess, yeah, speaking about just e-com only, you're not tapped into what's going on locally there in the US, you know, because you're in I guess a totally different country. So it's a little bit more challenging, but with this model, it makes absolutely zero difference at all. You could probably do it in Antarctica if you had internet connection there. It's great. You don't need to know all those various buying habits and you know, whether it's summer or winter or what have you. It's so much more simpler. So I guess with the connected world that we're living in now, everything's so much smaller, right? With the internet and doing, you know, Zooms and you know, just touching base with people. We're so much more connected now. So the world is a smaller place, which makes it fine. As long as you've got an internet connection, you can do this. It's fine.
Do you think you're going to need to have a team to run this, or is it going to be a big addition to what you're doing on a day-to-day basis with the rest of your business? What's your outlook on that?
Yes, that's a really good question. Something I was really interested in right at the beginning of the program was something that I'm looking to get involved with more is something that's more passive, and this is more passive. There's an initial setup, but once you've got the ads going, and bearing in mind that the figures which I mentioned, that's not even started scaling yet. So once we start scaling and increasing ad spend, then the increase in money is going to happen. And once that's going, there's very little to do on a day-to-day basis. So really, it's passive income once set up.
A lot of it has to do with the simplicity of the ads. So in e-commerce over the years and in sort of like traditional affiliate marketing, if you like, in other businesses, we've had to get quite creative with our ads to be able to get anyone to pay attention, because no one's got much attention span. But with this, it's quite different in that it's almost like if you're selling whatever it is that you're selling. Maybe you're selling some product for pets, but maybe it's whatever it is, some product that you're selling. You just say what it is in the ad, and then people click on it. It's not like you have to get all overly creative or have a degree in copywriting or anything like that. I mean, you've only got like 10 words to work with, basically.
Yes, I think that's one of the things that I'm so excited about. Is it's a really nicely defined I think that's part of what's so exciting about the program overall. Is there's opportunities in so many different directions, so many different niches, and yet you don't have to go write a long script. You don't have to go create a lot of visual creatives. You don't have to do a lot of those things that, yes, are possible and people have success doing it, but it has a learning curve. What I found here is the learning curve is if that makes sense for folks, the idea of like, what do you have to learn to be able to operate? It's actually quite simple. And so it allows you to get very quickly to the place where you're actually in front of potential customers. You're getting real feedback really fast. You don't have to learn all these complicated tools and build new graphics and figure out what images you're allowed to use or any of that sort of stuff. You start really simple, really focused, a few ads, and even Google helps you automate that testing at the beginning to get a few different examples run through, get some feedback, see which one is generating the right kind of traffic, and then you get to expand on that. So I mean, I have nothing but good things to say about e-commerce too. Like, obviously, lots of people have success, but if there's a lot of learning that has to happen. It's just a deeper well you have to go through before you know how to do all the steps, where this feels just a lot more accessible. So I love e-commerce, but the experience I had is like, there's just a lot of things you have to learn to really be an expert there. And what I'm seeing here is it's just a shorter path to get in front of customers and start getting real feedback. You don't have to learn so many different tools and so many different products before you're able to, okay, let's put an ad, see if it gets response. And then Google will help you and optimize for you to make sure that the traffic that converts is the kind of traffic they send you more of. Because their whole goal is very simple, just to keep finding you profitable traffic so that you keep running ads. And you get to leverage that really well. So I love that about it. It just makes it more accessible for people, which makes me excited for folks to be able to see this program too. Really, it's been eye-opening for me.
The big selling point for me is not having like things to worry about, like externally, like physical things or anything, which can be fine, but I just like to know that I can run everything. I can take my laptop wherever and kind of run the business from that pretty much. And it's a different business model in the way that you're getting leads, and I've never done that before, and it's I think it's like an exciting way to kind of build revenue from something that I wouldn't have thought of making money before.
Have you done anything in the past where you've been making commissions online, like any sort of, I guess you could say, traditional affiliate marketing?
I haven't really, no. I haven't tried much like affiliate marketing stuff before.
So basically you came into this completely new to this style of marketing that we're doing here. This business model is something that was completely new to you.
Yeah. So I came into it pretty fresh. I knew a little, like certain things, but not really in the realms of what this course covers, and which has been great because I'm always trying to learn new things, and this course has just kind of shown me, it opened up a whole new kind of world of opportunities pretty much. And yeah, I didn't know much coming in, and now I feel like I know so much I've learned so much in the last couple of months, and yeah, it's kind of opened up new doors for me.
That I've always loved about this, and comparing this to the other types of businesses that I've got online, is there's not an ongoing requirement for things like content. For example, like obviously in the search engine optimization world, or a lot of, not just that world, but a lot of different things nowadays, you need to be constantly creating content. That might be videos, blog posts, newsletters, so on and so forth. Whereas with this, there's no need to do that whatsoever. It's just not really part of the business model. And one of the most common questions I get from people is, oh, can I scale my business faster if I've got a virtual assistant or an employee? With this model, there's not really anything for them to do. I mean, is that aligned with your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it's the whole thing is simple. That's my biggest takeaway. It's quite a complex thing made simple, which is great. And it's something that's you can set up. Now, if you've never done Google Ads or Microsoft Ads before, then the way that the training's been done is done simplistically. So they're taking something that could be really drawn out over a long period, but they've done it in such a way that's it's quick to set up and quick to scale, quick to add. So you won't need to get a team of people in to do it. Anyone can do this themselves. If they've never done it before, then there's a bit of a learning curve, but the training will provide that. This is a fantastic opportunity for anyone really to make a passive income online.
Comments about some of the coaches we've got on our team?
Yeah, they're all very professional. They are super supportive. Nothing's ever a problem. There's no problems. It's just, if there's any obstacles come up, we work through them. There weren't any, to be honest, over the 10 to 12 weeks. Certainly none that spring to mind. And if I had a question, being, as I've already said, being quite new to this space, the team were brilliant in answering anything I had or any of the other guys, and that we were working together with. I found the coaches really good, and as you were saying there about the length of time that some of your ads are running for, the knowledge, you can see the knowledge that's been there for a number of years, and they're very expert in this field, and that helps give me confidence. It helped me at the start give me confidence that I would pick this up, and that somebody would be there to really show me what I needed to do to get the results that I have.
I have two things to say. One is they're incredibly experienced, like really experienced, years and years of experience in different niches and so forth. And they also have been very, very forthcoming with sharing their knowledge and their experience, and that's been really good.
Right, and to add on to that, they also know what works and what doesn't work. Excuse me. They know what tools. I mean, in our e-commerce business, we've been through dozens of tools and thrown out dozens of tools. So these guys they've already done that part. They've already found the ones that are no good and thrown them out, and found the ones that are good and kept them. And then they tell us, so we don't have to do that part of the business either.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think that's something that at this stage I almost sort of take for granted in my business, although every day I remind myself, wow, I'm so grateful that I've got this amazing team that can work with me behind the scenes, because they really are the ones that can make a huge amount of difference to people's lives and be able to help people, make those kind of dreams come true. So, last couple of questions for you. If someone had said to you, 10 weeks ago that you'd be sitting here right now with an income stream coming in that has done, the vicinity of $500 per day using this model, thinking back to where you were, 10 weeks or so ago, is that something you would have signed up for? Is that something that you would have been happy with?
Yeah, we would have signed up for it.
Good.
And we also know also know from what that we're just scratching the surface. We know that this is a pilot program. It's just 10 weeks. We've only been working at it for 10 weeks. There's lots that we don't know yet.
Yeah, and there's a lot of potential.
And there's a lot, so that, shows us, when you see those numbers, that just shows us that the potential is there once we build our knowledge base up and implement some of the additional parts.
Yeah, like something that I see really exciting about what you're doing is we're talking about hitting these numbers like $500 a day, but you're only actually capitalizing on one of the monetization methods, and there's actually another much bigger monetization method that you're now ready to start building into the back end. So won't get into that now. It's a conversation for another day, but it's really exciting. The last question that I do have for you is, any final words for people who might be listening to this conversation we're having, who might be inspired by what you're saying, but may also have doubts about what you're saying, because maybe they've tried things in the past that haven't worked all that well for them, or maybe they've been burnt in the past, or maybe they're just afraid. But any final words that you would leave with the people who are listening here?
Well, my one big thing is that when you take on a project or business model where there are experts in that, like these coaches that we just talked about, that my advice is to do what they say, because they know. I don't know better than the coaches in the 123Profit system. And I'm not about to second guess them. I'm about to do what they tell me to do, because I know they've been successful there, and I want that same success.
Right, and I'll add on that, yes, we have been in business for a long time, and have tried a lot of different ideas and different paths, and some have been more successful than others, and some have been, abject failures. But to Carrie's point, when you have a good team behind you that know what they're doing, and you're not figuring it out on your own, it's like, oh, let's do this 123Profit model. I'll just do it on by myself. We've been down that road and lost, if you will. So this is just incredible to have these people behind us.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking some time out there and sharing a little bit about your story. I'm really excited about where you're going with this, and I know that you're going to have big things happen this year. So again, congratulations on what you've been able to sort of put together so far, and thank you. Thanks for being here.
Our pleasure. If it helps somebody make a better decision, we're glad that we were able to help.
So there you have it. You've had a bit of an inside look into what other people have been able to achieve by being part of our 123Profit pilot program. And I think you'll be able to pick up on a few common themes here. One is that every single member of the pilot program has a website which has made them hundreds of dollars per day, thousands of dollars in total now, and they've been able to achieve that in a very, very short space of time. In terms of speed, a common theme is people are seeing real results the same day that they turn the traffic on, okay? And this is a big part of what we're doing here. We try to keep things just as simple as humanly possible and streamline everything to allow you to go from being potentially completely new and not knowing a single thing about this to being able to make potentially hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars per day. And I think that if you're excited about this, if you like what you've seen, then you owe it to yourself to find out some more. And you can do that by checking out the links and information that we've got around this video, so you'll be able to find out what your next steps are. For me personally, it's been an absolute pleasure being able to work with the members of the pilot program and to be able to see their results firsthand. It's just been absolutely amazing, and I'd love to be able to work with you as well. So to find out more, like I say, check out the information that we've got around this video, and I hope to eventually see you on the inside and work with you as well. Thanks for listening.
Hey, Aiden Booth here. Welcome to the next video in my road trip series. I'm in Menton, France, and you can see the beach behind me here. The water is absolutely amazing today. Just over there, you've got one of the world's best restaurants. It's a 3 Michelin star restaurant. We've also got the Italian border, which is just 1 or 2 minutes down the road here. So it's a really unique spot. And I've got 2 things for you today. Now, the first thing to mention is that you can download the student stories with these incredible results. See how beta testers have used the 3 steps to absolutely crush it. And you can find all of that out just by downloading the document that you've got access to. The second thing that I want to talk about today is another reason why having an online business is so important. Now, in the last video, I spoke a little bit about financial freedom. This video here today is all about time freedom. It's about giving you the ability to do whatever it is that you want to do on your schedule. But why is time freedom so important to living a healthy and wealthy life? And if you think about this for a moment, how would it feel to wake up when you want to do the things day after day after day that you enjoy doing, to earn a great living, living a simple yet happy life that you've got complete control over? Time freedom, when layered on top of financial freedom, gives you the option to do just this. And I've got a quote here from Steve Jobs, and I'm just going to read this out to you. But Steve Jobs said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and your intuition." And I think he summed it up really, really nicely there, especially by hammering home the point that your time is limited and your time is precious. It's just so true what Steve Jobs said, and I'm sure you can imagine the benefits of having time freedom. And I want to give you 5 quick examples here to really hammer this home. And the first one, which I think everyone is going to be able to relate to, is doing what makes you happy. So for me, for example, it's being able to get up in the morning and go for a swim, or if I want to, coming to a place like this and swimming in this amazing harbour. That's the kind of thing that I can do. Also on a personal, more family level, it's being able to take the kids to school every day, pick them up every day, have lunch with my kids every day. Another thing is the ability to work less and travel more. And this road trip is, I think, a great example of that. This is something that I've been dreaming of doing for a long time, and I've finally been able to do it in the way that I want to do it. So time freedom also means ditching that 9-to-5 mentality and being able to design your life and live it in a way that you want to live it on your terms. The third point that I've got here is more time with family, and this is really important to me. This is the most precious time of all. It's the time with my kids, but not just my kids, it's also the time with my other family members and friends, and having an abundance of time freedom is what makes this possible. The fourth point that I've got there is actually being able to enjoy your life more. I mean, this is really, I think, probably the result of all of these other things coming together, but doing what you love and doing what you love every single day. So if you're someone who loves to play golf, then get out on the golf course every single day if you want to. The point is, when you've got time freedom and financial freedom as well, you've got the tools, you've got the means to be able to really live your life on your terms. And the fifth point that I've got is the ability to improve your health. So you can make health and fitness a priority, not an afterthought, which is so often the case for people who are in that day-to-day grind, living that 9-to-5 mentality. So when you make your health and fitness a priority, you can get more energy, you can be happier. So to sum up here, time freedom means you don't answer to anyone. You are your own boss and you've got control of your time. And that's really what's at stake here. Time freedom layered on top of financial freedom. So where does this model fit into all of this? Look, if you're doing some other project, you might be doing e-commerce, maybe you're doing some kind of affiliate marketing, maybe you're dabbling in crypto or anything else. What I want you to know is that everything that I'm talking about here can tie in nicely with this and can complement this, because it really doesn't take up much of your time at all. And you're going to be able to find out exactly how everything works by tuning into one of our Profit Labs. That's where you'll see everything. You'll see live demos and you'll see exactly how simple this is. Remember, this is something that you don't need a product for. You've got absolutely instant traffic. Your websites can have as little as 27 words. And because you've got the instant traffic that I mentioned and such a simple website, you can get fast results. There's no selling whatsoever. That's one of the things that I absolutely love about this. There's no selling. You're not trying to sell anything to anyone ever, and you're building up an asset that you could sell in the future if you wanted to. This is a real serious business. And oh, by the way, there's no customer support either. And I think best of all, it's fun. You can have an absolute blast doing this. So in the 17 plus years that I've been building online businesses, I've never seen anything quite like this, okay? So I really want to be able to show this to you, and the best way for me to do that is for you to join one of these Profit Labs that we're running, and you'll be able to see everything with your own eyes live, okay? But you need to tune into those live, because there will not be any replays of those. So that's it for today. Make sure you download the student stories, watch for the next email to get the visual profit plan, to see the 3 steps in more detail, and again, register for the special workshop. And I'll see you in the next video, where I'll be coming to you from Switzerland.